This week's episode of Makers and Shakers is sponsored by Inventables and Rockler. This week on Makers and Shakers, we got the top 5 videos of the week, including a stool made with cement, a drill-powered walking machine, and building your own Terminator arm. And we ask you, what's your favorite non-shop tool to use in the shop? Check it. Welcome, my friends, to the very first episode of Makers and Shakers, a show that highlights woodworkers, artists, metalworkers, crafters, and makers in general. And today, while presenting all these fine artists, I will be enjoying a nice, fine Chaparro Gold. This is imported from Japan. This looks like a very tasty beer. Let's give this a shot. That is very, very good. All right, let's get into this week's videos, shall we? This week's video segment is sponsored by Inventables, makers of the X-Carve, the next generation carving machine. You may have seen some of their CNC machines on YouTube, including in some of my videos, but did you know they also sell all kinds of sweet materials in their store for makers and artists? Check this out, they've got acrylics and corks and woods and glass and metal and tons more. You don't have to own a CNC machine to get some good use out of their store. They're good folks out of Chicago. In fact, right here, I got, this is, it's some sort of plastic, and it's black on one side. There's protective film on there right now, and it's gold on the other. And I'm going to use this on my guitar headstock, and I'm going to carve into the top my logo, revealing the gold underneath. And then here, this is a tortoiseshell acrylic, which I'm going to use to make the pick guard on my guitar. It's got protective plastic on there, so you might see some weird bubbles, but you can cut this out on the CNC machine. You can even cut this out on the bandsaw. So there's all kinds of great, awesome materials there. I just got some solder sleeves because I stink at soldering. And so you stick one wire in one side, you stick the other wire in the other side, and then you take a little lighter and the solder in the middle melts, combining those two wires, and you don't have to know a thing about soldering. Very awesome, cool stuff. So check out Inventables.com. All right. First video, DIY bucket stool from Homemade Modern. Check it.
Why she makes cement mixes.
That is so heavy.
I was working on stuff.
Are you kidding me?
Thanks for watching. We had so much fun making this project, and if you're interested in making your own, go to homemade-modern.com.
That is the first time I recall Ben having a guest on the show. Very good stuff. I like that. Very cool. This next one is super sweet. Build your own Terminator arm by Aw Me. Take a look.
Store you can get little bamboo skewers, straws. I've even got these thick kind of like boba straws that I might. Nuts on either side of these. It'll look like the hinge, which is how their hands are. It's like little wheel thing. There we go.
That is just awesome. All made from budget materials. Very cool. It's very inspiring to see stuff like that. Good stuff. Whoops. Good stuff. All right, next video, build an epic beach fort with the Samurai Carpenter. This is really cool. Take a look.
Also known as Logan.
I think it turned out pretty rad. As you can see, it's super simple to build. You can see it's actually really big. Kids' toys.
Are you kidding me? That was crazy. What a sweet project. It is so fun. Good stuff. Good stuff. Up next, we have David Welder making a kite from a found umbrella. Have a look. Oh man, I just love upcycle and found object projects. So cool, so cool. And finally, get ready to have your mind blown with this incredible drill-powered walking machine. Yes, drill-powered. Izzy
Dutch
nails
artist
it.
Theo Jensen. He created a strand beast working prototype. I cut out a bunch more parts and then routed them so they'd have nice smooth edges, housing to make everything work. Painted everything silver, installed the gearbox.
Are you kidding me? What the crap? That's amazing. That dude operates on a different level than the rest of us. So cool. Amazing. All right, before we get into the next segment, I'd like to remind you that you can support this show by contributing on Patreon. $1 a month is all I ask, and that gets you advanced viewings of this show as well as an ad-free and extended version of each episode every week. That's right. Only Patreon supporters get an extended version of this show. So please go to patreon.com. There'll be a link down below. And all I'm asking is $1 a month. Let's move on. It is time for this week's question, and it is sponsored by Rockler Woodworking and Hardware. Create with confidence. Did you know that you can get high quality plywood from Rockler? Yes, you can. Recently, I ordered some half-inch Baltic birch. This is some of the best Baltic birch plywood you can get. Take a look at this. There are no voids in this piece right here. It is beautiful. This is not the stuff that you get from your local Home Depot or Lowe's. This is some really high quality stuff. So you can find plywood like this and a whole bunch of other great woodworking tools in their store. And they've got a blowout sale that you're going to want to check out. That's rockler.com. Okay. So this week, I asked you, what's your favorite non-shop tool that you use in the shop? Here is how you responded. Rubber bands. Gotta be the shop stereo. Can't woodwork without kicking the jams. Fridge. Keeps the beer cold. Coat hanger. If that's not considered a tool, then a paring knife. What, are you giving abortions in your shop? What is going on? Probably my fork. My wood stove. Somehow mistakes just disappear. The first 4 Black Sabbath albums. My box of Band-Aids. Bottle opener. You, Dave, you are my favorite tool. All right, time for the Amazon Tool of the Week. Every week, I show you a tool that I personally use and provide you an Amazon link to that tool. Purchasing anything on Amazon through this link helps support this show. And this week's tool is my pole saw. This is awesome. Chuck, can you zoom in on that? This is awesome. This is only $16 on Amazon, and it's got almost 5-star reviews. The teeth are flush with the metal. They don't stick out. And this is great for when you use dowel joinery and you need to cut. You have the extra dowel sticking out and you want to cut some of that off. Anytime I don't want to fire up the bandsaw or whatever for a really quick cut, this thing is great. It's super handy. It's only $16. It's got great reviews. The blade is replaceable. I highly recommend you have something like this in your shop. It's a really awesome, useful tool. I use it all the time. Mine's all beat up and it's got rust and glue on it. That's because I don't care about damaging in it, because it's only $16 and the blade is replaceable, and it's just a good, useful tool to have in your shop. So I highly suggest the Shark Saw, Pole Saw, Dowel Dovetail Detail Saw. That's a mouthful. Speaking of mouthful, one more sip. If you are new to the show, please subscribe, as I also put out how-to videos here on YouTube. And you can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. On my website, you can find even more tutorials as well as plans, project kits, stickers, t-shirts, and more. That is it, folks. See you next Friday. Be safe, stay passionate, and make something.